one thing that could save your life when you want to know what it was. Crime can happen to you, can happen to the ones you love. I want to inform you about what traits and behaviors can make an individual a greater risk for a violent crime. Secondly, I will share with you a breakdown and statistics of violent crime in the United States. Finally, I want to give you potential life-saving solutions that you can begin using today in case you fall to an attacker. Certain traits and behaviors can cause an individual to be more of a target of violent crime. Through a risk assessment test that I'll be handing out at the end of my presentation, you'll find out what your own personal risk rating is. Some of the items that will be on the risk assessment test that I'm handing you will tell you 20 to 24-year-olds, according to the Justice Department in 2006, are at the greatest risk of non-fatal domestic violence. College-going females under the age of 24 suffer the highest rate of rape. Alcohol is the primary component in assaults against women where your judgment is impaired. Most rapes are committed in the home by a friend or an acquaintance. So if you're in the habit of throwing parties or having get-togethers at your home, you're inviting a greater risk into your life for an assault. It's essential to have a home security system. A dog does not count as a home security system. Since most attacks happen in your home by a friend or an acquaintance, if he knows you, he already knows your dog. Your dog will not alarm to a perpetrator coming into your home if he already knows him. Home alone. Being home alone and having the same daily routines also puts you at a greater risk because if the assailant will know your pattern of behavior, you'll give him privacy and opportunity. These are just a small sample of things that can make you fall into a higher risk for violent crime. Now let's take a look at what those crimes are and the number of people they affect. The single most comprehensive source of information on experience of the consequences of violent crimes against women is the National Crime Victimization Survey. This organization has been doing surveys in families of 12-year-olds and older since 1972. They have an amazing record of violent crimes. Some of the things that they report are that 2.5 million women experience violent crimes annually in the United States. 2.5 million. 2 out of 3 women will be victimized by a relative or an intimate partner or an acquaintance rather than a stranger. Also, a timeline of crime that happens in the United States. Every 4 seconds, there's a theft. Every 19 seconds, a violent crime. 54 seconds, a robbery. Every 2.5 minutes is a sexual assault. Every 5 minutes, a rape occurs. In the United States, every 24 minutes, someone is murdered. According to the Rape Awareness and Prevention Program, in a 3-year survey of 1,000 women who experienced physical assault or violence, 66.6% stopped fighting back on an attack because their hair was being pulled. 15.7% stopped fighting back because they were being choked. 11.1% were stopped because they were being hit or kicked, and 6.5% of women stopped because the threat of being disfigured. So they stopped fighting just from a verbal threat of being disfigured. The Bureau of Statistics and the FBI both state that 39.9% of women who resisted a rape attempt avoided injury. 38.3% were able to escape, and 21.7% of women were able to scare off their offender. These are some startling statistics. Perhaps some of these things you've never thought about or considered, but you need to think about them. You need to think about how can you protect yourself? How can you survive? Here are a few solutions. Managing and conquering your fear. Fear is defined in Webster's dictionary as an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by anticipation or awareness of danger. As stated by President Franklin Roosevelt, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. Fear does not exist unless you mentally allow it to. Regardless of what you recognize or envision as fear, it can be conquered. Well, how? Strong personal power. With a confident attitude, you will be more effective to defend yourself. Envision a positive outcome. Victory or survival will result because of that. If you say, I'm going to die, probably you will die, or you wish you were. You have to know that I'm going to live. This is going to stop. Role-playing is another solution for survival. Act out alarming situations, whether alone or with a trusted partner. Learn to control your mental state and decision-making process so you can make the right decision to escape. Dr. Martin Luther King once said, if you conquer the fear of death, you are free. This can be interpreted as a meaning that once you're able to confront and accept the reality of death, you can have a peace of mind and possess the ability to make righteous decisions that are neither controlled nor dictated by your fears. Now, another tactic is using deceptive tactics. Is a solution that I want to discuss with you. One of the most effective tactics to deter rape or other possible assaults. Deception is the act of misleading, deceiving, or fooling someone. Deceptive tactics combined with self-defense, imagination, self-assurance, commitment to action is an ideal answer in stopping an attack. For example, someone grabs you. You act like you're injured. The assailant will have a false sense of confidence. That opens the door for you to strike and escape. Hey, do you mind? I'm doing my speech here. Now, how many people just turned around? Those few seconds could save my life. And save yours as well. Now, I've shared with you behaviors and traits that can make you more of a target of crime. Second, I've summarized what crimes are being committed in the United States, specifically crimes against women. Now finally, I'll give you some life-saving tools I pray you never have to use. Now furthermore, I would very much like to encourage each of you, men and women, to seek a professional to train you in self-defense, such as martial arts, and exercise personal awareness. The acronym JDLR stands for Just Doesn't Look Right. You know, the guy wearing a coat in the middle of summer in the bank. The sweaty, nervous guy in the cold air conditioning post office. These are the things that make the hair stand up on the back of your neck. That leads to another acronym, TYI, that stands for Trust Your Instincts, or Trust Your Fear. Who cares if you're wrong? The question is, are you going to be right? If someone makes you uncomfortable, trust that. If a situation makes you uncomfortable, trust that. Be aware of your surroundings, walk tall, look people in the eye, let them know that you see them. Don't take unnecessary risk with your life. Don't get gas or go to the ATM at night. We know that. Don't drink in excess. Don't use drugs that can impair your judgment. Don't feel that you have to be polite if you're scared. If you're on your cell phone, look around. A cell phone does not make you invisible. So remember, an assailant is not looking for a fight, he's looking for a victim. Thank you.